So I kind of won something 2 days ago. Hiya.
Morning. What's this? Can I get that name?
Yeah, Forshaw. Wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye. Called eBay, and what you've got to do is you put a magic number in, and if you put the right magic number in, you win. That's what I used to tell Katie anyway. The answer phone beep is flat.
You have one message. Message 1 terminated from today onwards.
Another scam. Sad thing is, scammers, I'm not with that internet provider. Let's get this unboxed. See, in the early days of eBay, kind of the early 2000s, I used to buy and sell a hell of a lot of mouthpieces. Why have I been sent shoes? It's a new for me 24-70 full frame Sigma lens. I suppose the best way is for me to go outside and take some pictures. Just a quick thank you to all those of you who gave me some feedback in yesterday's vlog about kind of what you'd like to see as we go into the 4th year of Dan's vlog. Some of you need to go back and watch some of the older videos because I think I've answered some of it there. And also, go and take a look at my Patreon page. I put something up on Patreon yesterday and made sure Patreon is the place to go to be a super fan, to be a super subscriber. I hate the videos on YouTube where people start begging for money, so I'm not going to be doing that right now. But Patreon gives me the opportunity to take things to the next level. So, for example, there are a number of saxophone lessons from the award-winning Cambridge Saxophone website on there that you can go through as a patron. I'm going to call it a patron for now rather than a Patreon, because that's what it really is. I'm working on trying to how to get it forward. But what I am starting, I wanted to do it a while ago, but never kind of got round to it, but I'm definitely starting it in 2 weeks. I've got the first one with pianist Rachel Johnson. We're going to be doing this kind of, it's called a live lounge, but it's not live, if you get what I mean. We will do some of them live. I just want to make sure the video quality is perfecto, which means I have to edit and do things. But we're basically going to do a gig. I'm going to pay the musician to be here. I'm only able to do that through Patreon because my patrons support that page. And basically what I'm doing is I'm donating whatever I'm earning from Patreon that month to the musician that we're featuring. I'm also going to be doing another one with Mike Taylor, who, when I go back up to Blackpool in a few weeks' time, Mike's a guy I did my Time Stood Still album with just after I got back from New York. It's okay, I wrote a couple of the tunes on the plane back from New York. I haven't raised enough money on Patreon to do it, but I've just got that bug and I want to do it. I might share some clips of the video on YouTube, but it's not my intention to make this a YouTube thing. That thing is going to be on my Patreon page. And listen guys, this is the only thing I'm going to say about money on Patreon. $2 a month. What else could you buy for $2 a month? Just head over there and if you can support it, that would be amazing. You're not going to get ripped off. It's a great way. And don't forget, check out the vlog I did about The Art of Asking. If you haven't read that book yet, it's definitely worth a read as a musician, as a creative in the 21st century. Amanda Palmer dealing with some very interesting and very difficult subjects at times when it goes through. Anyway, I have got a full day's worth of teaching to get through, so I'll see you in a few hours. It's slowly getting better. but very slowly getting better. And you know my thing with my finger. It's just
He would have been in the clear, but he's overhit the pass. Well, this is hit it well. That's an absolutely stunning strike.
I cannot believe it took that on Martin. It stunned me, and it certainly stunned the keeper.
Well, they'll be showing that over and over again.
So yeah, I scored a goal from the halfway line today. Pretty impressed with that. Sadly, it was only on FIFA computer game. If you are a FIFA player, DM me and we'll have a game sometime. But don't waste too much time on computer games. I think a combination of GoldenEye, that was on the N64 way back when, kind of FIFA through various different guises. I spent an awful lot of time, but I enjoy doing it. And I think there's always trying to find that pendulum balance, isn't it? I think sometimes, and I'll admit, sometimes playing the saxophone, the pendulum has gone so far that it's stopped being enjoyable practicing. And yes, you've got to practice to get better, and certainly when you're earning your living from it, you've really got to do it. And as a teacher, you've got to set an example. But there's always got to be this thing where it swings, and you want it in the middle where there's a good tension point between it being work and also being enjoyable, because you don't want to waste all your time playing computer games and everything else like that, and maybe even bidding on eBay and things. I often get a number of questions from people saying, would you recommend this, buy this horn, do you think this horn's good? Now, on the whole, I wouldn't buy a saxophone over eBay. Just a personal thing. There are many people, including students of mine, who have taken a punt and have ended up with some amazing instruments. One student managed to get a Selmer Mark 6 for an absolutely crazy price on eBay. It was a beautiful instrument. He got a great deal on it. But there's also plenty of stories of things that have gone wrong, people buying dodgy instruments, people, not necessarily dodgy, but instruments getting damaged in transit, all those kind of things. So on the whole, I always say, if it's possible, try before you buy with a horn. I always think it's worth paying that extra money, because there's so many things that can go wrong on an instrument when it's been shipped or before it gets to you, and there's stuff like that that can end up costing more money. I personally don't do it, but like I'm saying, I know some people do it. If you're willing to take the risk of doing it, mouthpieces I have done a lot of. I only don't do it now because A, I'm happy with the mouthpiece I've got, and B, I've got to that stage where I've realised that constantly switching setup is not always a great idea. It can often lead to lots of problems. Now, what I do as far as camera work goes is obviously very different, as you've seen today, but it's those different kind of things. So, tomorrow is the final day for the, actually today, isn't it, when you're watching this? No, hang on, where are we? No, it is today, the Thursday the 31st, when you're watching this. If you're watching it on Thursday the 31st, is the final day of the hashtag DF Blues Challenge. My next video I'll be making will be talking and reviewing some of the contributions that you guys have made to the DF Blues Challenge. And also don't forget, if you're in the UK, it's time to file your tax return. It's the final day to file your tax return. I still haven't heard from my accountant yet. I'm getting slightly worried, which is why I'm making the vlog now, so that I'll be spending the whole day when you're watching this tomorrow chasing him and finding out if he's filed my form yet, or he'll be getting sacked. But anyway, it's great. Thank you very much. Check out my last vlog here. Check out there, subscribe, because I may need to have to pay my tax bill, and go to Patreon because I desperately might need it. Now I'm going to use it for those live videos. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.